And this is video we shot moments after the second blast. That is after parts of the building kept on falling down. Chaos in the streets. Police trying to evacuate people, but again, the problem with emergency officials, they have to protect themselves as well. What you see is as you're standing in the street and the building comes down, particles from that building, a huge dust cloud, come at you. It is just a total black cloud, and it totally clouds your eyesight. In fact, one woman was so injured she was bloody and had dust all over her, took shelter in our live van, and we spoke with her as well. Here is what she had to say.
I was standing next to One World Trade Center, and then all of a sudden I heard rumbling, and we all started running away from it. The glass like flew out and threw me onto the sidewalk, and I couldn't see for like 20 seconds. And then I started seeing vaguely the street, and I just started walking, and my eyesight came back.
And I want to give you a live picture of our live truck just to show you the kind of dust cloud we're talking about. The doors were open and we had to abandon it. You can see this is what's pretty much covering the streets as well. It's dust. Pieces of the building.
Jim Dolan and Roz Abrams, along with Bill Ritter, bringing you extended eyewitness news coverage of this horrific attack. We have another victim our reporters have talked to, and we want to run that tape right now.
I was on the 88th floor of my office when it happened. Didn't know what it was. Didn't know if it was something on the mechanical room. Tragic. Tragic. Just got out minutes before with pancakes.
What did you see around you?
Smoke, a lot of confusion. Had no idea what it was. Been here 26 years. Never felt it. Never saw anything like that. Building rocked like a pendulum. Came down and made it down the steps. Looked for my people. I met my people, and slowly but surely we got down.
Were there bodies around you?
You don't want to know.
But here in our studios, we have a survivor. He was in Tower 1. Diana Williams has joined us, just so that you know who the cast is. Jim Dolan remains with us, and Bill Heitman. And he is here because his brother-in-law, Scott Myers, is an audio man here. Bill, you literally were in the building when this happened. Tell us what happened.
It was 8:45 exactly. I was sitting at my desk. We were all at our desks. And the building just shook. I felt like I was on a telephone pole. That was jig. I knew right away it was not an earthquake. And then I looked to my right because I'm on the south face. And there was just something above us hit us and shattered.
How did you get out?
We initially ran from the window in a panic, and then we just assembled ourselves, about 50 of us, and just went down the stairs.
A lot of people with you?
Many.
Chaos or organized?
Organized.
From what you saw, do you think most of the people on the 80th floor and below got out?
I would think so.
And how did you get from Lower Manhattan, World Trade Center, up to 67th and Columbus to be with us?
I walked.
What's the situation like in Lower Manhattan while you were walking?
Well, first off, when I left the building, I just thought that we were headed to some triage or something. And they kept directing us towards Broadway, a block and a half away. And I went to Broadway, and then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose, and I thought that we were being shot at or something. And then a cloud of dust. You just couldn't outrun this cloud of dust. You just couldn't outrun it. So we just got engulfed in this cloud of dust, and at that point, it was like a blizzard. It was like a blizzard. It was worse than a blizzard. I couldn't see anybody around me. We all ducked in. To a luncheonette, and I just couldn't stay in there. Everybody was trying to make phone calls, but it was even clouded with dust in the luncheonette. So I left, and I headed towards the seaport to head east, and that was when I just started walking north.
And you alerted your family, right, Bill?
I alerted my family 15 minutes ago.
And they must have been incredibly relieved.
Yeah.
I don't know if we said that he is with Bank of America with the security division. And what were you doing at work today? I mean, just making sure that the building was safe?
No, I start work at 5:30 in the morning, so I had already been working a good 3 hours already.
Bill, describe that trip down the stairway.
It was actually in pretty good spirits. There were some people that had been above us that were visibly burned and injured, and there was a lot of move to the right, letting people... And then as we got further down, it was moved to the right because the firemen were coming up. And the firemen were suffering bad with all the oxygen tanks there.
Bill, did you have any idea at that point what had happened?
Yes.
You knew that a plane...
I didn't know that it was a jet. I thought it was a single helicopter, and we thought that it was an accident.
And Bill, you said that when you came out, that's when the building exploded, but you were just out of the building when it collapsed.
I wasn't out a minute. I was not out a minute.
So that cloud that engulfed you was
the World
right
Trade Center.
How long then did it take you? It took you quite a while to get out of the building, right?
It took an hour to get out of the building. So it took an hour for the building to collapse. And then probably another 30 to 40 minutes before the second one collapsed.
So you were in that stairwell for an hour with other people. I imagine it was dark. There was
Smoke.
Emergency lighting, smoke. What was that?
I didn't experience a lot of smoke inhalation. A lot of people who were covered up. A lot of asthmatics. I have asthma, but very mild, but a lot of asthmatics.
Bill, you left the building, but there were firefighters and other emergency personnel still in that building, right?
That's what's got me the most upset is the firemen and the people still in the building.
Did you?
Because I know just didn't make it. I know they didn't make it. I don't know if it's true. I have heard stories as I walked up. I heard a lot of stories as I walked up. But I heard that people were jumping out of the building.
We have heard those same reports because of the heat and the smoke. We have heard those same reports. Bill, at 9 o'clock in the morning, I know you get there at 5 o'clock. How many people are going to be in those towers at 9 o'clock in the morning? Have most people arrived to work by then?
By 9 o'clock? Yeah. There's a lot of activity when I'm arriving, considering it's 5:30 in the morning. But there's a lot of activity from 6 o'clock on. There was vastly just thousands of people in that building.
Mm-hmm. Were you working at World Trade Center in '93?
Yes, I was.
Oh, gosh. Can you draw any
and I thought that was
comparisons to
bad.
this?
I thought that was bad. That was bad enough.
But today is a day that you will never forget, we will never forget, and probably most of the United States will never forget. And Bill, what about friends?
Survivor stories of exactly what happened inside the World Trade Center when that first plane went in, and of course the collapses since then. We're going to bring more of those to you now. Barry Jennings, you were on the 8th floor. You work for the City Housing Department. Explain to me the moment of impact.
Well, me and Mr. Hesh, the Corporation Counsel, were on the 23rd floor. I told him we got to get out of here. We started walking down the stairs. We made it to the 8th floor. Big explosion. Blew us back into the 8th floor. And I turned to Hesh. I said, this is it. We're dead. We're not going to make it out of here. I took a fire extinguisher and I bust the window out. That's when this gentleman here heard my cries for help. This gentleman right here, and he kept saying, stand by, somebody's coming to get you. They couldn't get to us for an hour because they couldn't find us.
You thought that was it?
I thought we're dead. I thought that was it. I started praying to Allah. I said, that's it. We're gone. It's over.
What was it like for you? You were inside there as well.
It's pandemonium. I mean, it was something like out of a Bruce Willis Die Hard movie. He was there and he was crying, and there was another gentleman crying and for help. We couldn't get to him. We tried to get through we went through the buildings. We were lost. Both staircases, the backside was completely blown away. There was no way to access it. We couldn't get to them. And finally, one of the fire department teams found them. But we didn't think they were going to make it.
Well, certainly you got out. Many others didn't. Of course, we don't have a number right now of fatalities or injuries. But I want to translate a story to you that another man told me. He was near the building. He was on the lobby level, near the shopping area, near the promenade. The elevator doors, he said to me, blew open. And when the doors opened, there was a man on fire inside that elevator. That is the kind of tragedy we are talking about here. And where the World Trade Center once stood here in New York City is no longer, at least not like we knew it. These men just embraced. This man is crying. It has been that traumatic.
I don't want to cry in the air, man, but I thought that was it. I thought I was dead. I'm thinking about my sons, my wife. It's too much.
And certainly, he echoes the statements of many others. We were speaking with a couple of officials earlier trying to get information. They said, stand back, we lost a bunch of guys today. It has certainly been a horrible... In fact, let me come around right here as this happens. They're now clearing the area.
Anybody up to Lincoln Center, you have to board the bus.
They're trying to evacuate the area because certainly they don't know what's going to happen next. And you can see in this live picture from the corner of Reed and Church, people are wearing face masks. The air is almost unbreathable. You can feel it in your mouth, and that's what's become so dangerous here, the unknown.